Hi, friends. In today's show, we're going to share what you can do now to prepare for President-elect Biden's immigration reform plan, his bill that he's proposed. Number one, research who you want to hire. Do that now. You're watching all these YouTube videos, but it's not just about that. Check the reviews. That's number one. Read a couple of the reviews. It's just like when you're searching on Amazon for a product. There could be one or two that are negative, right? That happens, but you also should call in for a consultation or a strategy call, at least so that you can understand if you would be comfortable hiring them in the future. Because when a bill is passed, and I'm sharing this now because when a bill is passed, it's probably going to be very difficult to get the lawyer that you want, really, because there's going to be long lines, right, at each law firm. The second tip is that you should hire a lawyer who focuses on immigration law. There's a lot of people who practice a couple different practice areas, let's say criminal defense or personal injury, and then also they just happen to do immigration law. You need to hire someone that does this on an everyday, day-to-day basis, who understands the different legal procedure and the different laws that are changing every day. And that's why we're updating you, so you have more knowledge. The third tip is please do not hire a notario, a notary. In different countries mean different things. Even in a Chinese community, there's like a paralegal who has access to a law firm, or more like a liaison. Look, that person doesn't work for the law firm. Okay, if they're not an employee, they're not an employee. Well, I have a story to share with you. I've had a client come to us, and we were the first professional attorney that they hired. The first person they hired was a notary, a notario. Some people refer to a notary as a notario in the Spanish community, and that's because in Spain and Mexico, they have some kind of license. But in America, to become a notary, it's only about, at least in Texas, about $100. They did not have to go to school. So imagine that. As licensed attorneys, we had to go through school, undergraduate school, 4 years, and also law school, another 3 years. And we had to take very difficult tests to become a lawyer in America. And even with that, we have to continue to educate ourselves about the law, especially with immigration law, because it's changing, as you know, practically every day. So you want to hire someone who has knowledge. And the most important thing when you're searching for a lawyer is making sure that you're comfortable with them, because at the end of the day, it's about communication. What is a law firm's communication policy? When are you going to hear from them? Of course, they're not going to be able to call you every day, but they're in our office. We have very strategic points during the representation of a case to call our client, to email our client, to notify them about the case, even if there's really no update. It's important that you hear from your lawyer. It's also important that you are able to receive your own file, because many lawyers that I've known, when I'm the second lawyer but the person is hired, it's very difficult for them to get access the actual documents from the first lawyer, and I'm not sure why that happens. It shouldn't be that way. It should be very easy. You're the client. We give documents as we go during the case. We're very transparent about that. We use Cloud Folder to store all that. So what else can you do? We just talked about what you should consider when hiring a lawyer. Of course, there's other factors that are involved, like being transparent about the fees. We share that all up front in the contract. There's no hidden cost. Now, on to the second thing you should consider before President-elect Biden comes into office, and that is gathering evidence that you've been here for at least 10 years. And number two, evidence that you have good moral character. One example is tax returns. I want to share a story with you that I believe will be helpful for you as you prepare for your case. We've had clients come in and say that their tax preparer, someone probably without an accountant license, told them that they could file as head of household. I just wouldn't, or even as single. I wouldn't do that if that's not true. Especially if you're trying to show to USCIS that your case is about marriage, you need to show that you're married through the tax return. And checking off head of household or single is definitely not a good one, because that'll be false. Now, here are 4 more types of evidence that you can put together and gather as you wait for President-elect Biden to get into office, and especially wait for Congress to pass the bill. The first one was tax return. The second one is bills and statements, invoices, anything with your name on it, right? The third one is your bank account statement. It can be just the first page, as long as it has your name on it. The government is not trying to look at your actual transaction history. In this kind of scenario, I would not provide every page of your statement. Number 3 is school records. It could be from any school at all. It could be for GED, it could be for college, university, or high school. Those will be very useful because it will have your name on them. Even if it's just an enrollment card or a grade school report card. The fifth one is if you own a property, it could be your property tax, or if you're renting an apartment, it could be your leases, because they will have your name on it and it'll have an address and the month and a year. There's a lot more evidence types that we can offer, and we'll share that in a future video as Congress goes through the bill and passes immigration reform. We look forward to that day. And until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Now, you might ask, why am I saying that it could be for 10 years? It's a good number to start with. I don't think the government would just randomly say 7 years to show proof that you've been here. This is why I'm sharing this. You want to save time. So as Congress starts talking about the bill, debating it, see what is going to stay in the bill, what's going to get out of the bill, you need to start gathering evidence. Because when President Obama pushed through DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, people had to prove, applicants had to prove that they were here at least starting in 2007 and up until the day that they've applied. And that program was announced in 2012. So at that time, it would have been only 5 years. But now, as you may know, DACA's back. So people who can apply for the first time can do that now. So now it's 2021. And so they have to prove 2007 all the way until 2021 that they've never left the country. They've continuously stayed and resided in America. So that's at least 14 years. So I think if there's any immigration reform that's going to pass, it will likely be a magic number of 10. For cancellation removal through court, that magic number is 10 years. So 10, I think, is a safe area to start gathering your documents. Friends, if you're new to the channel, please click subscribe down below. And you know what to do. Smash the like button and leave a comment. Let us know if you thought this is helpful and if you have any questions. And until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Friends, thank you for taking time to watch our channel. Click over here so you can watch our most recent uploads. We'll see you soon.